Hello friends, we are doing the Mauve Crush look today with some fun makeup tips for those of you who might be makeup beginners. So check out this video, you're going to learn some easy tips on how to apply your makeup and special ways for you to get more confident in creating the best look for your face. So enjoy! We'll start with foundation primer. So we'll take about a pea size amount, about that much, and we're just gonna smooth this in all over our face to help make everything set. My clients call this pothole filler. So it's filling in any lines, bumps, acne scars, anything that is gonna cause our skin not to look so even, and then it's also making the makeup stay on just like you would prime a wall. It's making that stay too. Next is our CC cream with our Beauty Blender. I love this awesome brush. So we're gonna do about a half of a pump, maybe 3/4, and you can do more. You can actually layer this. Thin layers are better than a thick, heavy layer. So you're just gonna smooth this in all over your face. So that's going underneath the eyes, across the eyelids, like literally wherever you have a face, that's where you're putting it. And you wanna make sure you blend it well. The great thing about this is that both the CC cream and the foundation primer have the SPF 15, so you're getting some sun coverage both ways, which is great. So this is giving us a base to allow us to put the rest of our products on. Next, we're going to do concealer and under eye corrector. These two, long ago, used to be put on underneath makeup, but now with the updates of these products and foundation, you want to do your foundation or CC cream first, and then you do concealer. So I'm going to just take my concealer and a little swipe there, and my under eye corrector, a little swipe here. That's actually way too much product that I put on there, but that is okay. So I'm just gonna use my finger and kind of blend it together. So I'm gonna tap those two. You can see kind of what I'm doing here. And then I'm just gonna kind of pat it like this. So I'm just blending it. And I want it to have, for me, I like to have a little more concealer than the under eye corrector. And you can kind of decide how it works. So we just kind of pat it, and then I'm taking this much, but that's way too much for both eyes. So I'm just gonna go a couple taps there, a couple taps there. And then I'm going to use my other finger, my clean finger, and kind of blend that off. And that way, if I need more, I'll come back with my other finger and kind of move it around. So this is going to help cover up darkness and discoloration underneath my eye. So what I'm doing is patting it on. It's called stippling, and you see how I'm blending it onto my eyelid too, because most people have darkness in the corners of their eye, not always out here. So I don't like to put a lot of concealer on the outside of my eye because I don't really need it. Now, if you find you have darkness out there, go for it. But for me, I find most of my darkness is in the inside corner of my nose and under. And then I'm gonna just take my finger and make sure to blend it down here. I just wanna make sure it kind of fades in so you can't tell that I'm wearing concealer. And if ever I'm like, wow, it still looks a little dark, I might just take a little bit extra and kind of tap it in an area where I feel like, I could use a little more support there. So we're just gonna kind of pat it in until I like the coverage. Yeah, that's actually good. Now, powder is optional. I do appreciate powder, especially in the summer. This is our Silky Setting Powder. You can also use the translucent powder. So I'm just gonna shake a little bit into my lid. My powder is starting to run low, but I like to get the last of it out of there. So yeah, that's plenty in my lid. So we're gonna take my brush, give it a little tap, and we're just gonna fluff it across. That's the best way to put on your powder. It's meant to be put on very lightweight because it's helping to minimize lines and wrinkles. It's also helping to make you not so shiny. So this should be really easy to apply. Then we're gonna do our eyes. So for eyes, we are gonna use the cream eyeshadow, which is the liquid eyeshadow. I love this Light Beam. So I'm just gonna take that and sweep it right across my eyelid, just like that. So you can see how I gave myself quite a bit. And then I'm gonna come back with the liquid cream eyeshadow brush. So this one, you just get to blend this in literally all over your eye. And you can see how I'm patting it. I like to make sure I don't get too much out here in the corner. I just wanna kind of blend it in and go around and over. And then I also take the brush and I kind of add a little extra. You can see how I'm going here in the inside corner of my eye. So it's a little shiny on the inside. So I like having that a little bit more open, kind of makes your eye look a little bit bigger and kind of more open. So you can see I'm going in an arch, back and forth. but I'm making sure not to get out here along the outside edge. And if I do, for some reason, I want to take my finger and get that right off because you don't want to have shine out here down there. Okay, so we got that done. Now we're going to take our eyeshadow tray, and I'm going to use either this is like the all over eyeshadow blending brush, or the all over eyeshadow brush, and we're going to use kind of a neutral color. I'm going to do this moonstone today. You can tell I really love this moonstone. It's almost gone. So I'm going to put that on my lid to keep my lid really light. I'm going to do the same to the other side. So I'm kind of patting it because I want it to stick to my liquid eyeshadow, and then you can blend it after you pat it on there. And then for the blending brush, I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to use a little bit of the rose gold. So that's this color right here. So this one, give it a little tap, and then I'm going to blend that one up here, kind of along the crease, in the crease, but I'm also, you see how I'm keeping my eye open? So I'm making sure that I can see it when I have my eyes open, just like that. So that is good. And then if you wanted to add a little extra, you could use your smudger brush or even the eyeshadow crease brush and put a little bit on the outside corner. So if I took probably the mahogany or cinnabar, we'll do cinnabar today. Take a little tap of that, and that's just gonna go on the outside corner here, just like a little bit, just like a tiny bit there. I'm going to do the same to the other side. So I'm going to grab some more eyeshadow, give it a tap, and you can see how I'm angling it up. You always want to keep that in mind, is that you want your eyeshadows to be kind of from the corner of your nose to the corner of your eye. That's also where you want your eyebrow to end when we add on eyebrow color. So then we're going to do a little eyeliner. I'm going to grab the brown eyeliner. This one, I like to do the upper lashes because eyeliner's purpose is to make your lashes look a little thicker. So I'm thinking, okay, let me get as close to the lash line as possible. And you can see how I'm just doing little bitty strokes. For me, that's the easiest. I always tell people, however is easiest for you to put on your eyeliner. If it's easier for you to tug your eye just a little bit, that's fine, but you really don't want to pull too hard. So you shouldn't be, you know, causing lines or wrinkles because you're putting your eyeliner on. And some days it gets a little, I don't know, smoky. So then you can go back with your smudge brush or even the eyeliner brush, and you can just kind of blend it a little bit. So you can see how this one got a little smoky. So I'm just gonna blend that together like that. And then this side is gonna be a little smoky too, because I want them to be even. Yes, there we go. Okay, perfect. And then you can also add a little bit of eyeliner on the outside corner. The one thing you want to be really careful is not to pull your eyeliner out and then you open your eye and boop, it's droopy. So you can have a little bit of an upturn to your eyeliner if you want. This is a little bit more advanced, but you can see how I'm taking it. I'm going up and out a little bit. You can see that there, just like up and out, just a tiny bit, not a lot. You can have a serious wing if you want, but I don't usually like to wing it out too much. And then just for my eye shape, occasionally I do look in the mirror and make sure it hasn't kind of like drooped down. Sometimes eyeshadow falls or it kind of gets a little bit underneath here, so I do sometimes kind of smudge it up. And then I'll just go back with my little smudger brush, make sure we got everything. And then I'm also going to come back with my eye blending brush, which is this little guy. And you can see how it's not really blended right there for this brown. So I want to get it kind of blended in. There we go. Perfect. Okay, let's do some eyebrows. So we'll also do mascara too, but I always like to have my eyebrows. So we're going to use our eyebrow brush. Now you could also use eyebrow pencil, but today I'm just going to do the eyeshadow in the brows because it's really simple and easy. So I'm just kind of fluffing it around. I'm going to take the spoolie side and comb through it and over. So it's really easy to do. So if you're blonde, the hazelnut is a perfect shade. If you're brunette, cinnabar is great. And if you are dark blonde or even kind of black hair, then the espresso is amazing. So we're just going to blend that over and fluff it up. And then your eyebrows are sisters, not twins. So we want them to match, but not be very symmetrical. They just aren't symmetrical. Eyebrows are never exactly perfect, and if they were, you'd probably be an AI person, right? So having asymmetrical eyebrows is totally normal. So be okay and embrace the imperfection of your eyebrows. That's what makes you unique, but obviously you want it to be somewhat similar. You want them to be related. not necessarily twins. So there we go. Then we're gonna do the Fanorama mascara. I love this mascara. You can do any mascara that's your favorite. Fanorama, I also like the Great Heights mascara. So this one's just gonna give me longer lashes. And I like to start at the base of my lashes and pull out, but if I was a newbie mascara person, I would be putting it on the edges of my lashes. I'll do it that way on the other side because it's hard to judge, especially if you're new to mascara or you're not a frequent mascara person. I just dip my wand one more time in here, and then you can, I'm right-handed, you could do it this way, but I actually can use my left hand, so I like to use my left hand on the other side. But you could just kind of tap, like blink into the wand, so you can blink into it and then just get those outside edges, you know, and that's pretty good. But if you coat a little bit closer, now that you've gotten the outside edges, you can kind of trust yourself and know, okay, I think I got this. Then you can just pull it out and over, and that will kind of extend and lengthen everything. There we go. And voila, we did it. Okay, so we got our mascara done. Now, let's do some cheeks and lips. So for cheeks, we'll use our cheek brush. We're gonna use the Shy Blush today, so that's this color right here. I'm gonna give it a little tap. You can see how I put the color right there on my brush. Give it a little tap to make sure it's not too intense. And then I like to kind of mark where I'm gonna put it. So I'm just going right here on my cheek and I'm gonna say, is that good? Yeah, that actually is good. Sometimes it goes on real heavy and then I take a little Kleenex and kind of sweep it off, but this looks good. Yeah, so that's perfect. So we'll do the same, a little bit more tap on my brush and then tap it again and then blend. And that is, I like circles instead of a line. That way it's not a racing stripe of cheek color and it just gives you sort of that natural glow versus it being like, you know, kind of like a race color. And last thing, lips. We're gonna do some Mauve Crush today. I love this Supreme Hydration lipstick because it's so light in texture. It almost feels like a little bit of a gloss and a little hint of color. So there you go. We got our look done today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Feel free to comment or ask me any questions if you have makeup questions or even skincare. Bye-bye.